Sydney, do you know what our state vegetable is?
Is it a sweet potato? Hey guys, welcome back to At the Table. Sydney here, and we have a really fun episode today. I have a guest, Miss Eileen Coite. She has been on the show before, and she is our ag and community development educator. So she talks about all things ag, but she also does a lot of working in the community, connecting the community with extension. So she's been doing a really cool program lately, which is why I wanted to have her on the show, and it's kind of helped us to center what our next couple episodes are going to be around, which is sweet potatoes. So the program she's been teaching is Ag in the Classroom, and she has been teaching the fourth graders all about sweet potatoes, from production to eating it to all the things. So she is here to talk a little bit about that. So thank you, Eileen, for being on today and for joining us to talk all about Ag in the Classroom.
Thank you, Sydney. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm really excited about this Ag in the Classroom. This is a national program that is through Farm Bureau. And I was able to go to a conference back in the summer and learn all about Ag in the Classroom. And it's really intended for school teachers, but extension folks can go as well. And we didn't have Ag in the Classroom here in Sampson County. So I was excited to bring the information back. And I'm just in the beginner stages of getting it out in some classrooms. So I've spent some time in the city school system at Sunset Ave Elementary with some fourth graders, and they're really excited to learn about sweet potatoes. And did you know that sweet potato is our state vegetable?
Wow.
That's one of the things that kids have learned. They're like, wow, you know. And we grow 60% of the sweet potatoes in the nation come from North Carolina.
Wow.
And Sampson County is the #1 county in North Carolina producing sweet potatoes. So those are some of the fun facts that the kids are learning, on top of, you know, how does a sweet potato grow, and what are the different varieties of sweet potatoes that we grow, and what are the nutritional benefits. So there's so many things that Ag in the Classroom can teach them, not only about the crop and the vegetable itself, but also they learn about math and language arts and, you know, creativity and everything, reading. So it helps those teachers educate the young people about the core curriculum that they need to be learning, but also, since we live in Sampson County, they're learning more about agriculture and what agriculture brings to our community.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, I think it's something that we need our kids to learn a little bit more about, because you wouldn't think that we would be so removed from agriculture since we do so much ag in Sampson. But we truly, when you work with children and you talk to them about different foods where they're grown, you can really see that they are learning when we teach this in class. It's not something that they commonly know. So I love that you're doing this and that you can have different topics that you talk with them about. So yeah, it's awesome. The recipe we're doing today is, which we're actually doing 2 cookie recipes. They do use sweet potatoes, and this is from the North Carolina Sweet Potato Council, or?
These sweet potatoes actually were grown right here at the research station. We have an NC State research station here in Clinton. And so these are some varieties that were grown here. There's 3 varieties that you've got in your bowl over there. We've got Beauregard, Covington, and Purple Majesty. Yes. So, and the purple sweet potatoes, that was the first time I had ever been exposed to a purple sweet potato. And, you know, baked them and cooked them, and they are purple, let me just tell you. So your plate, if you get them on your clothes, you're going to turn, your fingers, you're going to turn purple. But they taste great. They taste just like a just like a sweet potato.
Yeah. So which the more orange ones, this one?
Yes, those are the Covington. And another fun fact is the Covington variety was created by NC State. So here in North Carolina.
That is awesome.
And then the Beauregard kind of has a more of a reddish tint to it on the skin. On the inside, they're both going to look very similar, have that traditional orange look to them. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the Purple Majesty, they are purple, dark purple.
Oh, yeah. And you can see, when you put them all together, you can see a little bit. When you were describing them to me, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell the difference between the Covington and the Beauregard, because you were like, it's a little bit more red. But when you really do put them together, you can see a slight difference in just a little bit more of that red hue versus that orange, which is probably where we got our pureed sweet potatoes. I'm sure I did the Covington for this because it's so bright orange.
Yeah.
Super cool that we have these. Now the recipes we did, this is from the North, you were pulling this stuff from?
Yeah, the recipes came from the North Carolina Sweet Potato Commission. So they have some really great sweet potato recipes if you go on their website.
Awesome. Yeah, so we will be doing recipes from the Sweet Potato Commission today. And then our next 2 episodes will also be from their website as well. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll start on Eileen's cookies, which are the sweet potato, cranberry, white chocolate, oatmeal cookies. We'll see y'all in just a second.
Star Communications strives to provide you with the best video services. That's why we invested in cutting-edge video equipment to bring you new features such as Cloud DVR, Restart TV, local video on demand, advanced parental controls, and higher quality reception. Unfortunately, these improvements require some changes, and existing DVR customers will lose their current recordings. Changes will start the middle of January, so please view all your recorded content. We hope you will love the new Star TV.
Hey guys, welcome back. So we are continuing our talk all about ag in the classroom and our sweet potatoes. So what we'll do, we'll start with our recipe. Eileen's going to begin our first recipe. So if you want to tell them what the recipe name is and then where we got that, so the website.
So this is a sweet potato, cranberry, white chocolate oatmeal cookies. We're going to make cookies today.
And you've made these before?
I have made these before, and they're wonderful.
So good. Yay.
So real excited about that. And the recipe came from the Sweet Potato Commission. So you can go to ncsweetpotatoes.com. And you can find this recipe or lots and lots of great recipes using sweet potatoes. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to beat our sugar and our butter together. So I'm going to get these in here. I'm going to get this in here and beat it until it is smooth.
And this was just a mix of brown sugar and white sugar. Yes. And then it's a half a cup, which is a whole stick of butter. So you would just throw all that together.
And 1 egg. And vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Your typical stuff for a cookie recipe, right?
That's right. Okay, so we're going to get that going.
And you could definitely do this with either, she's using a stand-up mixer here, but you could also use one of the handheld mixers. That's what I'll be using for mine. Or, really just trying to work it with your arm if you don't have either of those as an option. The stand-up mixer is really nice just for convenience.
Yeah, and I'm going to stop for just a minute and push some of this butter down in here. Some of it kind of got stuck to the sides there. I want to get everything in there good. Get it mixing right up.
That's the only thing about a stand-up mixer. Sometimes it seems like it sticks kind of at the bottom and you have to take little breaks and use your spatula to help get it all mixed together.
And really, I think I've got it pretty good. The recipe says be careful not to overmix. So got it mixed in here really good. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the flour and the sweet potatoes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start measuring your sweet potatoes for you.
Let me get something to kind of wipe my hands.
And we did, we just pureed these sweet potatoes, so you can actually see how they are just this beautiful bright orange color when we pureed them. An easy way to puree them is to boil your sweet potatoes for about 20 minutes, and then you will let them cool, and then I put them in a blender, but you could also, Eileen, you've done this by hand, right? To kind of mash your sweet potatoes. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have a blender, there are other options for you. I just love the color of how it turned out.
Okay, so our sweet potatoes, thank you for getting those for me. So we're going to do 1.5 cups.
There you
of the
go.
Sweet potatoes. Get those in there.
I'll need this for later.
A pretty orange color. Full of vitamin A, C, and E, and iron. So I tell the kids when I've been in their classroom, I've said, you know, we haven't done the cookies yet with them. Sydney's gonna come to the classroom with me and we're gonna do this. And so I'm gonna tell them that this is a way that they can get their vegetables along in a cookie.
Oh yeah.
When else can you get your vegetables in a cookie? So
yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna get that going. We're gonna go kind of slow with that, just get it combined. And then we're gonna add our oats, our cranberries, and our white chocolate chips.
Yeah. And a great thing about this, while this recipe does use flour, so this one does self-rising flour. Mine will be an all-purpose flour. There is a difference in your flours, so just be mindful of that. But it also uses, I think it's equal portions of flour to oats. And oats are gonna be a whole grain option. So that is a way for you to kind of spruce up your cookies and give it that nice whole grain that is gonna have lots of fiber and be really good for us. Along with the sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are loaded with fiber. I think that's one of the ones, you mentioned some of the other great vitamins, yes, but fiber is also wonderful in these, in sweet potatoes. So keep that in mind.
1 cup of these. I love dried cranberries. I like them on a salad. I mean, just to snack on anytime. So really good for you. So we're getting not only our vegetables, but our fruits. And let's see, and the white chocolate.
Yeah, let me just cut this. It's much easier.
You're gonna need a cup of those too. Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's really simple. Eileen's gonna finish that up. All you do is add that all together, mix it until it's mixed well, and then we will cover it and put it in the fridge for 30 minutes just to sit and kind of mix together. So we're gonna do that, get it mixed, put it in the fridge, and we'll see you back. We'll start on our energy cookies next.
Just because something may work doesn't mean it's right for your business. Let Star Communications' knowledgeable consultants help you customize a hosted voice system that's right for you. Our dedicated experts work with you to understand your business needs and guide you at every step, from choosing and installing services to ongoing maintenance and support. Contact Star today.
All right, guys, welcome back. So we have our cranberry oatmeal cookies in the refrigerator. They're gonna sit for just a little bit to help the batter kind of set before we put it on a baking sheet. So what I'm gonna make next, these are called sweet potato energy cookies. And this is more of like your traditional chocolate chip cookie. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. Yep.
Eileen had made these as well.
I've made both, and I don't know which one I like most. They're both good.
I'm excited to try them both. She has given me the energy cookies, and I'm more of a basic chocolate chip girl. So that was right up my alley. It was delicious. It's still very, very sweet. I'm not as big into the white chocolate just because it's so sweet, but I'm still excited to try. I think it'll be delicious. So for our energy cookies, first we're going to start out with our flour and our oats. Same thing here. We have a little bit more flour than oats, but it's not a major difference. And you're just going to mix this all together really well and get it kind of blended. I'm also going to go ahead and add some baking soda. So we have just 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we have some different spices. So our spices we're using, we have cinnamon, and this is gonna be just a teaspoon. And I didn't feel like any of the spice flavors were too overwhelming. I think it just gave it the right amount of flavor when you had made them. So
good. I've got your sweet potatoes ready for whenever it comes time for them.
And then we just have 1/4 teaspoon each of allspice and your nutmeg. So these are all kind of your sweeter spices that they do make sense to kind of go together, but I feel like they all do definitely play a role. So,
yeah, and the combination with the sweet potatoes, I think, is
a winner, right?
Yep.
Perfect.
Definitely.
So we're just gonna mix those. And this just reminds me of Christmas because I use these different spices so much around the Christmas time, but I don't feel like it really made your cookies taste particularly like a holiday spice cookie. But we like it for a little extra flavor.
Yeah, it's just the smells and the flavors, it just all comes together.
Yes.
It's perfect.
So very easy there.
I can smell it from here.
Can you? I thought it was just me because I was so close. All right, so then we're gonna do our butters and our sugar. So I just have, I think it's equal parts of our sugar. So, well, not quite, 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 2/3 cup of our granulated, and then we're gonna add a stick of butter. Now, it doesn't specify, actually it specifies for unsalted butter. Our other cookie recipe needed salted butter. So what we're gonna do is just leave out the salt in this recipe since we've got salted butter, and that way it'll kind of even out that sodium that we might be missing. So we're just gonna whip this, kind of mix it all together. And the good thing with one of these, the handheld, is that it just seems so much easier to kind of control your bowl. But I do love my stand-up mixer as well, so. And you just want it to be all blended well, get the butters and the sugars all nice and mixed together. All right, that's all kind of in a ball. That's okay.
Butter gets sticky.
Yeah, we're gonna be adding in some other stuff.
But it tastes so good.
So what we have next is we have 1 egg. So I'm just gonna crack that in there. And then we also have a little bit of vanilla extract. We're just doing 1 teaspoon of that vanilla extract. So similar flavors here. And our sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato?
Yeah. So
There you go.
this will give it that pretty color. Now, I think you could do the purple sweet potatoes if you really wanted to.
I think so.
And
I
then
think
you'd
I'm
have
gonna do that sometime just to see what
they turn out to be.
Yeah.
You'd have some purple cookies probably,
Yep.
which might be really fun with kids. I think this would be
Might be nice to do, some of both colors.
Right.
And compare them.
be a fun little
Good
activity.
project.
So we'll just blend all of these up. Now, Eileen, while I'm doing this, do you want to talk a little bit about our the app and where we can get sweet potatoes from based on the app?
Sure. So one of the other segments, we talked about the Visit NC Farms app. That is a statewide program that you can get on your smartphone, and you can find local produce in most counties of North Carolina. So we have the sign back here. This is what the app looks like, and you can download the app and you can find sweet potatoes when they're in season, which actually, you know, that's another neat thing about sweet potatoes. They're usually in season all year round, because if they're stored correctly, our farmers have them in a very climate-controlled area, and so that's one good vegetable that we can get year round.
Yeah, it's affordable. It's a nice affordable vegetable too.
And healthy.
Yeah. So I just mixed my dry ingredients with my wet ingredients. So I'm gonna finish kind of mixing these two together real quick. We'll take a quick break and we'll see you guys back to finish up these energy cookies.
Let's get out of here.
Protect what matters most in your life with security from Star Communications.
All right, welcome back. So I wanted to show you guys our cookies that we have mixed all together really well. So this is the one that Eileen did. You can kind of see the cranberries and the white chocolate in there, and it's definitely thickened up. The goal here is that it's not runny. You know, you want to be able to put it on your pan and it not run all over the place.
And the neat thing about that is if you're going to be taking it somewhere the next day, or you're going to have folks come over and you want the cookies to be warm, this can sit in the fridge overnight. So you can get it all mixed and leave it in there, and then make them right before you need them.
It's an easy one to make ahead and then prepare as needed, because it doesn't take too long to bake. I think they're both about 15 minutes of cook time. So mine, I forgot to mention the chocolate chips. I did add the chocolate chips before I let it sit for about 10 minutes. So you can kind of see it's not quite as thick as Eileen's. Probably the longer I let it sit, the thicker it would get. But it's still thick enough that it will turn out great when we put it on the pan. Now, in terms of the chocolate chips, I used a mixture of what I put in. So this is, of course, your traditional chocolate chips. It's going to be a little bit higher in that sugar. Of course, chocolate chips, we're not trying to necessarily be skimpy on the sugar when we're talking chocolate, right? But if you are trying to be a little bit more mindful and you want to reduce some of that sugar, Lily's is a brand that has chocolate chips, but it's sweetened with stevia. And they're really good chocolate chips. I think they taste delicious. You can't really taste the difference in your recipe, but it's just, you know, no sugar added chocolate chips, basically. They are a little bit on the pricier side. So what I did was I mixed half of these and half of this. So that way I cut it down a little bit, and you still got, you know, the regular chocolate chips for that sugar, if you got some picky folks. So what we're gonna do next, we are just gonna throw our cookies on our cookie sheet, right?
Could you hand me a small spoon?
Yes.
I just want to use another spoon to kind of push this cookie dough out. Yeah.
So we're just gonna plop these on about 2-inch scoops, and of course arrange it so they're not quite touching. And then you just bake them. I mean, easy peasy, just like your regular chocolate chips, but this just has that nice hidden ingredient in there.
Getting your vegetables in.
Yeah.
And a little bit of fruit in this cookie.
Now, Eileen, when you do the Ag in the Classroom, is that specifically made for a certain age group, or is that something that you could possibly do with other grades as well?
Yes, the curriculum is tailored to where it can go anywhere from kindergarten all the way up to high school.
Oh,
so
wow.
Depending on what you need, the teachers can just pick what curriculum, depending on what age they teach, they can choose and modify it. And so I particularly chose to focus on 4th grade because 4th grade was one of our age groups that we don't have agriculture in the classroom here in Sampson County. So, we have FFA at our middle and high schools, but I thought, well, I'd really like to get in the elementary classroom and teach them about agriculture too.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so great to kind of touch the kids, it might not necessarily be every year, but throughout their life as they're aging, growing up, as they are in elementary school and doing some of our garden programs, and then they've got this in 4th grade, and then you can get into, furthering some of that as they get even older.
Yeah, steps all along the way. And our young kids, they're just sponges, and they have absorbed so much information and really enjoyed it as well. So I'm excited every time I go to see them.
Little kids are so much fun.
Yeah. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on today. And now if somebody wants to have Ag in the Classroom in their classroom, what do they do?
Yes. So if there's any teachers out there interested in learning more about Ag in the Classroom, they can contact me at the Extension Center at 592-7161. I'll be glad to tell them more about it.
Yeah, and I think that's something Eileen has a goal of getting into a few more schools and reaching more children, which, as do I. The more that we can provide education throughout our county, the better. So we want to continue that. If you're a teacher, you're a counselor, you're a principal, anybody who works at a school, and you think that some of our extension programs would be a great fit for your class, reach out to us. We are happy to work with you. We are flexible, right? So we can make it work. It's just a matter of getting together. So what we're going to do next, we will pop these in the oven. Mine take about 14 to 16 minutes. I think Eileen's are 12 to 14.
12 to 14.
So we'll just kind of keep an eye on those. We'll show you our finished product when we show you the little outro here. But y'all have a great day. Thank you for joining us again at the table, and we'll see you next time.